Hello everybody, this is Havoc, and today I'll be bringing you a guide on MENACE, the upcoming sci-fi turn-based tactical game from Overhyped Studios, the developers behind the wildly successful Battle Brothers. In this brutal game where Mad Max meets Alien meets Event Horizon, you are the commander of the TCRN Impetus, stuck in the Wayback, a remote system with multiple factions vying for control. As the leader of your group of Marines, you'll engage in operations, a run, if you will, of multiple procedurally generated missions to ultimately gain favor with these factions. That being said, there are some big differences in how MENACE operates as a turn-based tactical game than those that you may have played before, be it Battle Brothers, XCOM, or any game of that nature. So with timestamps below, let's dig into 8 mechanics you'll need to understand to play MENACE, beginning with Squad customization. In MENACE, you are in control of several squads, each led by a squad leader. Each of these squad leaders have their own backstories which feed into their character stats, namely in their promotions, essentially perks from other games. These perks provide you with unique opportunities to utilize your squads inside of missions for various tactics. For instance, Cody Griffinger's guerrilla promotions gives him increasing defense the closer he is to an enemy squad. Combine that with Fortify, the MP3A9 PPP, and some grenades, and you have one hell of a close quarters combat squad in the works. Or look at Jane Darby, whose high value target promotion disables the special weapon of an enemy unit for 1 turn. Give her the Scout promotion for increased detection, or Commando for increased accuracy, defense, and discipline when far away from other squads, then equip her with the SR-31 HM sniper rifle, and you have the ability to take down units before they even see your own squads. Each squad has the option to customize several elements of their equipment, from your primary infantry weapon, which every squad member, called squaddies, will equip, to the infantry special weapon, which one single squaddie will use, to multiple armor types and accessories such as grenades, drones, ammo bags, and stimulants. You can also increase or decrease the size of your squads by using the squaddie toggles in the top right corner, but be aware, there are a limited number of squaddies that you have access to in the demo, and with no way to gather more, it's best to lean on the conservative side. It's also important to note that squads must have a minimum of 2 squaddies to deploy onto the battlefield, with a maximum of 8 squaddies in a single squad. And yes, you can rename every single one of your squad members. Lastly, squaddies only apply to infantry squads. Renu Riwa is a dedicated pilot squad leader, meaning she cannot attach more squaddies to her since she operates a vehicle. She can still be equipped with modifications for her vehicles though, much in the same way that infantry squads can. Unsure exactly who to bring into the fight? Let's take a brief look at how missions shape your squads. In MENACE, operations are a series of missions you engage in on a planet, which in the full game will bring larger rewards on the strategic layer. In the demo, you'll only be able to use those rewards within the 3 mission run provided, meaning you should take a look at the rewards you get and do some forward planning in the process. Do you want some upgrades for your vehicles, or would you rather pursue infantry upgrades? Do you want increased supply points for future missions, or the chance to get a unique pirate item? While you won't know exactly what you'll be getting, you can still choose a mission based on its rewards to make an informed decision. Once you're in the mission prep area, this is where you can finalize your squad loadouts and determine who to bring and how to position them. The key here is knowing your enemy, which we can do with some success. For instance, pirate infantry and pirate scavengers will always bring an RPG with them as their infantry special slot, with scavengers also packing some serious heat in their primary. Pirate boarding commandos are insanely armored, although low in squad numbers, and come with terrifyingly good short-range shotguns. Vehicles can vary between flamethrowers, laser turrets, and machine gun turrets, not to mention they can transport troops as well. Matching symbols to their corresponding unit type can help you position your rocket launcher squad close to enemy vehicles, or maybe keep your sniper rifle within range of commandos to take them out from a distance early on. There's one more extremely crucial element to determine who you bring in, and that's supply points. Supply points are quite literally that, the amount of points you can bring into a mission, not unlike many tabletop games. Staying in our mission prep screen, we can see our supply points limit in the bottom right, with all active squads' total supply points defined as the yellow bar. And you can see exactly how much supplies a squad is taking up by hovering over their squad leader portrait. So what makes up supply points? Well, your entire loadout. Every weapon, any armor above the RMC fatigues, and every accessory has a supply cost, noted by the supply icon in the bottom left corner of the item you've equipped. More than that though, regarding infantry weapons specifically, the supply costs go up for every squaddy you have in the squad, as each squaddy is equipped with that weapon. Knowing this, should you go over your supply point limit, you can modify your loadouts with different weapons, armor, or accessories, or reduce the number of squaddies in a squad, and simply remove entire squads from the mission altogether. You just have to be under in order to proceed. Now that you have your loadouts, your squads, and your positions, let's take a look at one of the more unique mechanics that MENACE has to offer with combat turn order and rounds. Unlike a majority of other turn-based tactical games, the turn order system operates on a per faction basis. What does that mean? It means your faction always starts the round first, choosing any squad you want. Once that squad has finished their action, every other faction on the map gets to cycle through one of their squads before coming back to you. This continues until all factions have moved all of their squads, and yes, this means that you will quote-unquote run out of squad moves before the enemy does, and that means you'll always end up seeing other factions move several squads at the end of a round all at once. Once all squads have completed their actions in this way, the round is over, a new round begins, and you continue in this manner. When choosing which squad to move, there are two key things to think about. First, once a squad does any action, you have to continue using that squad, meaning you can't move a squad a couple of tiles, then click on another one and move them, and then come back and fire with the first one. And any remaining AP or action points are also not carried over into the next round. Second, there are no initiative mechanics in this game, meaning that any squad can move in any order within a round. You could have a squad that moves last in the previous round, then first in the next to react to something that may have happened in that previous round. It's a great way to ensure that you have the player agency required to keep squads alive, and that turn order isn't defined by a squad's stats. Next, regarding combat specifically, let's dive into playing the tactical mastermind with weapon stats. Now, any veteran of turn-based tactical games will know that weapons matter, obviously. But in MENACE, since you have limited ammo with no way to resupply mid-mission, you really need to know your guns. So let's take a look at them real quick. Every weapon has the same stats to consider, located in the bottom part of a weapon's tooltips, and include things like range, which is how many tiles away you can shoot at an object, to different damage types, armor penetration, suppression, which we'll address in the next section, elements to hit, and rate of fire. These stats matter immensely, as it will help you figure out what type of enemy squads they're best suited against. That MP3A9 may not have a lot of damage towards armor, but it has a large rate of fire and good suppression, meaning that when you fire, there's a lot of bullets headed towards the enemy, good for larger squads. An SR-31 sniper rifle has superb stats across the board, but only fires one shot at a time, guaranteeing to kill if it hits all but the most armored squaddy. One of the most important weapon stats to consider is the graph at the bottom, which provides a hit point damage to accuracy based on tile distance. There is a point where it's the most accurate possible, even if at a slightly reduced hit point damage. So it's up to you what you would rather sacrifice. But in either case, spraying and praying the first squad you see is typically not the best idea. The other consideration is attack options. Each weapon can have a range of attack types, and by hovering over them, we can get an idea of the most ideal situation regarding the aforementioned weapon stats. Here, you see the base hit point damage times the rate of fire times the number of squaddies. This makes full squads equipped with high rates of fire have great potential impact at suppression or hitting the maximum number of enemies in an attack, You'll have to balance your action points and accuracy to determine what attack is best in any given situation. There's one final combat element mechanic to be aware of, and it's Suppression. Suppression is the ability to limit the movement and actions of another squad, plain and simple. As we just looked over, each weapon has a suppression rating, which is further increased based on attack type, rate of fire, and the number of squaddies. Some infantry special weapons, which only one person can equip, can do more suppression than an entire 8-man squad with a regular weapon. So if you're looking to suppress, take that into consideration. Suppression has 3 levels, noted by the yellow bar above the squad. Level 1 is unaffected, which is pretty obvious. Level 2 is suppressed, which knocks off 30 action points and reduces accuracy. Level 3 is pinned down, where a squad cannot do any action other than crawl on the ground a short distance. When attacking a squad, shots that hit cause full suppression, quote-unquote damage. Shots that miss but land in the attack tile do reduced suppression, followed by even more reduced suppression happening if the shot lands in an adjacent tile. Now, this does mean that you can cause suppression for a squad that you didn't even attack. So be on the lookout for bunched up enemy squads and lay down some suppressive fire that can maximize that suppression mechanic. One last little tidbit: in between rounds, squads have a chance to reduce their suppression levels, meaning you're not stuck there forever, but neither is the enemy. This last one is less a mechanic per se, but a cool thing nonetheless, and that's Steam Deck functionality. Yes, already MENACE is very playable on the Steam Deck, although there is obviously some work that could go into it. The right trackpad or right joystick is your mouse, R2 or right trigger is your selector, the right and left bumpers zoom in and out, B rotates the map counterclockwise only, and Y will end the current squad's turn. The game runs at about, 45 to 55 FPS on ultra settings, even with some intense action going on. And while the UI is obviously a bit small for the screen, it is still entirely functional. So this means that you can totally take MENACE on the road, so you're never far away for too long from this kickin' demo. And that about wraps up this video. Hopefully explaining these mechanics will help you navigate the game, considering there's currently no tutorial or walkthrough. If it was helpful, feel free to support the channel by giving this video a like and comment down below, including any other questions you might have. Be sure to wishlist the game on Steam, as that's the absolute best way to support MENACE right now, and be on the lookout for more videos as I tackle the demo myself. Thanks for watching, this is Havoc, and I'll see you in the next video.